Okay, so yesterday I was explaining the traffic flow of the standard and distributed switch. So now let's have a quick look again on the traffic on standard, distributed, and VXLAN based logical switch. Okay, so everyone knows this is your physical hardware. Okay, on top of it, ESXi is there. So this box is nothing but your ESXi, and this is your L2 switch or whatever. Okay, so what we have, we do have a single uplink towards your switch. I'll not go for the dual uplink. This is a single uplink. Suppose this is only one uplink. Okay, so if this is a one uplink, then there is a standard switch here. What do you mean by standard switch? The default switch which we have normally on our ESXi. Okay, so here under that standard switch will either create the red VLAN or will create a green VLAN. Understood? And this is called as port group, not a VLAN. In VMware world, they call it as a port group because it's not a VLAN. It also has other functions as well. Port mirroring, security, okay, policing, restriction, and other things also you can do inside of the port group. Okay, so you have red port group, you have green port group. So red port, any VM which is green, okay, any VM which is green will connect to green port group. Any VM which is a red or whatever application name you want to do, that will connect to the red port group. Easily understood? And how you'll make this connection? How you will put any virtual machine into that port group? The idea is simple. You go to your vCenter, okay, or from ESXi. Simply you have to right click or edit settings, and from here whatever network card is there, you can from drop down you can browse it, and then you can select that port group, and then you can click OK. Simple. So for now I selected trunk 1 or trunk 2. Okay, earlier it was trunk 1, now I'm selecting trunk 2. Or if it's trunk 2 I'm selecting again 2. Okay, so I'll click OK. So this is how you are connecting any VM's port group. So this is called as downlink, which is going towards the virtual machine. Now let's talk about uplink. What do you mean by uplink? Any idea, Raju?
Uplink,
Physical link. Phys-
that is going to the another
Physical
network.
link.
Yeah. Uplink is something which will collect the information and go to the next device to fix to address your traffic. Okay. Generally, if you go to your general, if you take the access layer, okay, if suppose you have one access layer switch, then you will have two distribution layer switch, correct? So this access links down the line, it's connected to hundred of devices. True or not?
True.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
how many uplinks it will have? Not
One.
more than two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
One
two
of
uplink.
So it will uplink to only one here, and it will again send uplink to one here. And if this is nexus, then this will form the port channel PVC. Okay. So we'll not go into that, but this is how PVC works. Okay, if you don't have PVC, then you will connect your uplink to a single device, so you'll form a port channel. So this
So,
is single link, okay, and this is dual link. So why it's single? Because in future I have to flow some other information, so consider it as a single link only. This is a double link, then you can form the port channel, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
So earlier
So
you have shown the two interface network adapters. So that is the trunk two and trunk two. So that is uplink or downlink?
see, this was the example of one of ESXi. This is the example of one of virtual machine. They are two, but these are trunk in nature. So two different links. If I take any of example of any virtual, Virtual machine in the sense I'll take it as a this device, Windows machine. Okay. Yeah. You can see this is Windows machine, Fazal. So you can take example of this single uplink.
Okay.
Okay. So here I give an example on different ESX VM. That the reason you are seeing two different this one
Oh,
adapters. But generally you can have up to 10 adapters, network adapters. Fine. And if you want to see the adapters more information, you can expand this. You can see the MAC address here, which this adapter is having. So how the traffic will deliver to this VM because of this MAC address. True.
okay.
Coming back
Got
to
it.
this Excel point, guys. Generally, you will have the downlink which are going to your systems, and you'll have uplink which will go to your switch. Same way here, uplink concept is similar thing. Your machine will be there, physical machine. It will have two NIC cards, for example. So NIC 1, NIC 0, correct? And NIC, ले लो, NIC 0 and NIC 1, correct? So this is called as physical NIC. Okay. So that's the reason it's notated as PNIC. Okay. And here it's a logical uplink. It will have two uplink again. While creating any distribution switch, it will ask how many uplinks you want. So you can give two, because generally you can have up to eight. But thing is, no one will go to that level. Or do you? Okay. So while creating a switch, it will ask how many uplinks you need. So you can say generally two. So these two links, these are the logical uplinks and these are the physical uplinks. Then this is also PNIC. Okay. Don't get confused. So what you can do, you can do the mapping here like this. Mapping from logical to physical. Okay. How you can see that? You can come to your, let's go to my vCenter. What vCenter? Lab 32 is mine, right? Lab 32 vCenter. I'll go to this vCenter. See why I'm focusing more here, because if you don't understand this concept, then the troubleshooting will not, you won't be able to make any troubleshooting. So what is this? This is your lab 32. Okay. So this is your lab 32. Go to configure and topology. You can see two uplinks. Do you see these two uplinks? So two ESXi per uplink. You can see uplink 1 is having two ESXi connected, ESXi 1 and ESXi 2, and they are going toward the CDP and LLDP will be there. Do you see CDP here is going to this switch on this port number, correct? And this is 3750 gigabit switch. Understood? So this is how whenever you are joining, whenever you are doing troubleshooting, you will come to know that where your physical box is getting connected. If you want to see individual logical switch, see whenever you see this question mark here, then you have to reset it to green or acknowledge that. Okay. And now it says it doesn't have the data store, but it has. Let me go ahead and rescan it. Okay. Okay. I'll come back to this point. Here, if you go to configure, if you go to virtual switch, you can see that individual one link now. This is the individual uplink. Generally, I should show you the distributed, but now, sorry, standard, but now standard we migrated to distributed. So this is distributed one. If you want to see more information, this is the logical and this is the physical. Do you see logical and physical mapping here? See, there is a logical to physical mapping. This is the logical uplink one and this is mapping to physical, which is there on your server. Where it is, this is the one. Okay, this mapping it says. So what happened? This is the standard switch, but later we change it to distributed. So what we did, we created one more switch, which is distributed. on vCenter, and we added this server here. Okay, so what now you have to do migration, you have to shift from here to there. So what you have to do before doing migration, you have to make sure that red and green port groups are available here. Without this you won't be able to do the migration. Okay, if red and green are available here, so what you will do, you will simply disconnect these uplinks from here. Okay, and then you can attach to this one. Okay, like this. Now you did a migration. Also you have to do the downlinks migration. Instead of connecting it here, you can connect them to this device. So this is called as the migration from one device to another switch. Okay, so this switch has no value. Now you can go ahead and delete it. Standard switch. Now this is distributed. Once you create a distributed switch, then it will go ahead and create on all ESXi. Agree? Now the third thing is logical switch. How logical switch port group is created? Logical switch is created that will act as a port group only. So let me expand this one. Okay, so let me expand this so I can be more. Let me expand this. Okay, so this is logical. Now you understood the port group, uplink and downlink. Any question on uplink and downlink? No, right? Yeah. Now let's move to the logical switch. So whenever you are, and it's having one address, this ESXi is having one address. So generally what we give for ESXi 101, and where it is assigned, it is assigned to VM kernel port. Okay, VM kernel port is a one of logical L3 interface which we will assign. Generally on L2 switch also you will assign an interface VLAN, right? Management. So this is 101. So here it will be in same VLAN or something. So for TEP address you should have one TEP address. Okay, so what you will do, you will create a one of the port group or something, and then you will assign one IP address here. Suppose we'll follow the same segment 192.168.32.0. So 101 goes to your ESX1, and 201 will give it to your TEP address. Okay, so your TEP address is not here generally. Where is your TEP address? Your TEP address is something of VM kernel interface. So VM kernel interface is something sits on the corner of this one. Okay, and your this one management is also here. So this is management and this is VM kernel. So generally if you see it here, it has got 101 IP and this will get 10201 IP. Generally segment will be different, but though we are in lab, I am not having two different segments. Or we can also have do two different segments. With single segment it will not work. So we'll have 192.168, 132, 132.101 we can give. So anyway, that is NSXT part. We must use different segments. So now whenever you create any logical switch, it will create similar to port group only. You'll see it as a port group only, but that is having VXLAN information. That doesn't have VLAN information. Okay, that is either VLAN or VXLAN, but generally it will be VXLAN. So here you can see it's VLAN 100. You can see it's VLAN 200, and here it's VXLAN 5000. Okay, so this will not go through a normal VM kernel port. This will go through this step. Okay, then step will have one VLAN address. So here we'll give VLAN address as 132, and for this one we have VLAN as a 32. Correct or not correct? Your lab number, and this is 132. So 132 traffic will be traveled through this one, and it will reach to the another host, which is nothing but here. Correct, and this is the normal VLAN back traffic. It will also travel through this one, and it will reach wherever he wants. So this is how the TEP and VXLAN traffic differentiation is there. So here if you see the blue, it will use 132 VLAN as a jumbo packet with the MTU of more than 1700, or you can go to MTU of 9000. Okay, here it should be 9000, here it should be 9000. So this switch, underlay switch, see this packet as a jumbo frame. Okay, so not only one, this one, there are lots of VXLAN created logical switches will be mapped to this one. So all traffic carrying responsibility will lies with the TEP address. It's a TEP address who will jump the traffic from one box to another box, and it will hand it over. Any question, guys? No?
Sir, sir, uh, sir, can you please explain me again? I had distracted a bit. Just orange and black interfaces.
Okay, orange and black. So what happened? Let me come back. See, now here I am explaining how the traffic pattern of your switches. Logical switch is let's forget about a standard switch. No one is using a standard switch. Wherever vCenter comes in, everyone is using distributed switch. Suppose this is a distributed switch. Okay, so now you want, see, now we are going to use VXLAN. What is VXLAN? That VXLAN will give us more opportunity to create more number of port groups. Otherwise you can create only, see, if you are creating more port groups, from where you are going to bring the VLAN? One port group can have a one VLAN, right? See, this is the uplink. So this is the uplink. Okay, and this is called as uplink 1, and this is called as uplink 2. And this is uplink 2. Okay, now you can see one thing here, and that is that how your traffic is flowing, general VLAN traffic. Suppose this is red port group is part of VLAN 32. I'm part of VLAN, right? 32. Okay, and blue is part of something 200. Agree? So these VMs are part of VLAN 200. These VMs are part of 32. So till here, everyone is with me. How their traffic goes to outside world, and see, these are only one links. This is only one link or two link you can consider, because I given VNIC 1 and VNIC 2. So this will pass through this trunk or port channel. So green traffic will also pass through this port channel, and red traffic will also pass through this port channel. Now the third thing is we need VXLAN to work on. We want these devices to use software defined networking. Okay, so in order to work with software defined networking, you have to install the NSXT manager. While installing the NSXT manager will push some configuration to this ESXi. So this ESXi will come to know about the VXLAN. So what that VXLAN says, that I am going to have a TEP address everywhere. Generally, what address you have on all devices? You have VM kernel interface for management. Okay, I'll take you to the management. Do you see? All my ports are having, see, this is 101 is a management address. Like for my master, 101, 102, 103, 4, 5, 6 are the management. Okay, so let's come back here. So now I'm going to have something VXLAN. I'm going to have a VXLAN. What is VXLAN? VXLAN will give you more opportunity. It will form the overlay. Okay, so you'll come to know more when you do the when I start the NSXT. Okay, so here for VXLAN there will be a TEP address. That simply you will go ahead and create a logical switch like with this color. This is the logical port group. The logical port group will not have a number 32 or 200. It will have a number more than 4000. So it will take 5000 as a number, okay, which is not a VXLAN number. All VMs will connect to this one, whatever belongs to this port group, okay, and their traffic, instead of flowing like a normal VLAN traffic, this will give traffic to the TEP address, which is sitting here. This TEP address will have one IP address, and it also have one identification of VLAN number. So generally, suppose I give the TEP address of VLAN as a 300. Okay, then by using VLAN 300, it will first encapsulation all traffic to this step address, and with the help of VLAN 300, it will travel to your switch and hit to the destination and deliver the traffic to another host. Any confusion, Mubin?
No, sir.
Yeah. So this is the pattern, but you will see realize it when I do the practical. Okay. So now, guys, let me all again explore more about the vCenter. Okay. Then we'll go for the next other practicals, but let's do
Sabri
that.
sir, can you go
Yeah.
on this print?
Okay.
I have one query. So I'm just assuming on distribution switches, this red VM and green VM should be communicate with each other by the trunk port, right?
Yeah, no, by the trunk port means they will go outside and from here they will resolve
The
the
trunk
routing
is for
and then,
outside
yeah,
to go to outside only.
obviously they will go to outside and wherever they found their SVI, there they will do the routing.
And what about the port group? Port group should be communicate with each other. 32 and
No,
400.
how two VLAN will communicate with each other even though they are on same switch? Not possible, right? If you have two VLANs here, VLAN 32 and VLAN 200, so do you think any port connecting to VLAN 200 and 32 will communicate with each other without our routing, which is there on distribution? No, right?
No,
See,
right.
yeah, they are in group of 32 VLAN and they are in group of 200 VLAN. They will not communicate with each other.
Okay,
They have to go upside, do the routing, come back, and then they will communicate.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now, guys, there are more features as well, like creating a virtual machine. Last time we created two virtual machines. Okay, virtual machine 1 and 2. You can also create Windows virtual machine. That is not a big deal, but creating Windows virtual machine will add more this one. Okay, more bandwidth and all. If you want to create, you can simply go new virtual machine, create new virtual machine, give it as a Windows VM. Okay, select the folder where you want to keep it, then go next, select the device where you want to do it. Okay, and then storage. I don't see storage here. Why? Let me cancel it. Storage is available. Okay, it's there on one only. Okay, yesterday, we configure it on only one. Okay, here, but we are not configured on second. So what I'll do is I'll go on second. Let me configure the storage. How to configure it? Can anyone help me here? You guys have to do practical. Without this is something you'll only listen. Okay, so how to configure? Can anyone guide me?
Sabir, I missed this part. What did you ask?
No, how to configure the storage on ESXi2?
We hit
So
the
simply you need
Storage
to
enter.
go
device.
to the storage
Yeah, storage.
and
I SKZ.
ISKZ. Okay. So,
Uh,
which Vikas, you are driving. Okay. So be careful. We'll take care. And then network port binding.
Port binding, and we need to add an IP
Add.
address.
Okay. So here it doesn't show here. Why?
Uh,
There is some problem. Let's go ahead and see. We have to rescan the adapter. What you
yes,
have to do?
this can
Rescan the adapter and storage you have to do. Then again, let's do it. Do you see it? No. Why it's not coming? See, actually this device is supposed to carry multiple traffic. Okay. So here it's having multiple traffic. You can see VM kernel adapter. If you go and edit it, then you can see all traffic VMotion and all. So this should not. Let's go ahead and let me refresh it. Generally, it should come after refresh. Let's go back to the same point. I'll come back here. Then I'll rescan is already done. I'll click on add. It should come here. Why it's not coming? I'll tell you why it's not coming. Might be
We
some.
need to, I think, VM nickel.
No, generally what happened, it's having dual interfaces. That the reason this will create issue. I'll remove one interface, okay, from the uplink. So generally, I have seen this one. It's having two uplinks, so it will create problems. So one I have to remove, then it will show. Okay, I'll come back. I'll go to storage again. I'll rescan the adapter, then I'll go add. So now you'll see it. So generally, if you are having two adapters, then it will not show. That the reason I removed one. Okay, I'll go OK. Okay. So once this is done, you can go with dynamic discovery. Go ahead and give address of my 1.51 was one of VM. Click OK and keep scanning these things. Okay. Now the storage will be available here. You can see under
Uh,
path.
Sir, one question. Can we see the adding the storage with the both adapters further
No, it's not.
hereafter?
No, it's not recommended. Actually, it will get confused. Means you can't load balance between two adapters. So generally, see, it will storage traffic will not be carried forward through the management path. You will have separate switch for that. What do you mean by separate switch? Now we have only one switch, right? So they will create one separate storage switch for storage traffic. This is I won't be able to extend it,
Okay, in
but I'm
real
showing here.
environment.
Yeah. So then they will create a separate switch for storage. Okay. So this separate will again go for NIC 3 and 4. Backup will go for 5 and 6 like this. So backup, any VM which want backup will connect it like this. So through this production will work, through this backup will work, and through this storage will work. So one VM will have multiple storage like this, multiple uplinks. Okay. So don't go into that. But anyway, so now if you go ahead and see data store, so now data store is available. So now let's go ahead and right click new virtual machine. I want to deploy Windows virtual machine, lab 32 Windows. Okay, where you want to put, you can select the folder. Okay, now it's asking us to select the storage. Okay, I'll click next, and I'll give that I'm going to install Windows 10. Okay, I'll click next, but where we have the this one CD, I'll go to data store. Here you can see somewhere Windows will be there. Okay, if not there, we have to upload it. Okay, it's not here.
And we can consider just like similar to
Yeah,
Slack.
yeah, Slack. So you can give the ISO here and then it will work. If you want to upload the ISO, I'll show it to you as well. See, because this session is generally I'm keeping dedicated for vCenter related queries only. If I start NSX, then that will be too early. If you don't know the basic things, basic things means if you want to upload anything to storage, how you can do. Okay, so what you can do is you can go to any of storage here and go to files, and from here you can go to upload. But vCenter is not mean for uploading anything. So what it will say, go directly to ESXi. So here from here you can see browse files. Already files are browsed here, but I'm showing, do you see upload folder and file? You can click either here as well, upload file. So it will take you to your system. From here, others, do you have something Windows?
Suppose if in case we don't have a ISO file in data storage center, so we can upload it from our local system, right?
Yeah, I'm uploading from local only, right? Do you see it?
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay, so here it's not there. Let me copy it. How to copy it? I'll go ahead and copy it from my device. I'll go to my 51. Generally, I keep it here. Okay, do you see Windows? Okay, I'll go ahead and copy it, and then I'm copying it to this device. Clouds networking software. I'm pasting it here. See, so now the device is available. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to upload it. Okay, so I'm going back here. Now soon this device will come. Let me monitor it in parallel. So once it comes total here, I'll go ahead and upload it. So it will show throw one error possibly. It says that instead of uploading it here, go to ESXi. Okay, so copy is done almost. So it's 99% done, 100%. Okay, so now you have full Windows ISO file. You can start uploading. So it's throwing one error. What this error means, it says that go to that ESXi and then upload. Why you are uploading it from here? Okay, so I'll click there and then I'll visit to that ESXi. The username is root. Okay, and the password is VMware. Then you can go to that storage back again. So just make sure that you are having a good this one from browser. Do the upload. Now the upload will work. So the help of this, you are uploading something to your data store and downloading something. Are you doing it on this device? You are, yes, you are doing on this device, but are you doing writing it somewhere here? No, right? What you are doing, you are uploading out this on this storage, not on your local. Correct? You are uploading something here by browsing this device. So this device is copying something in from my 151 device. Okay, so a transfer is happening between these two, but you have initiated it from here. Okay, and you are sitting it somewhere here on my jump box. So this is how these are the things which will you should understand the flow. See how many things are involved between one copy and paste. I am initiating on from my jump box. I am accessing to this ESXi. Then I then I copied all information from here to here, and then from here to here I am doing the paste, not this one. Okay, let's come back. Copy is working. Once copying is done, then I'll go ahead and do it. Right, I'll go back. Okay, let me create one machine again. Now I want to create one Windows machine, lab 32 Windows. Okay, I'll also show you today what is the this one, how to create multiple VMs. Okay, with the help of next next Windows. I am going to create Windows 10 64-bit. So it will select this is shell only. This doesn't have anything. Okay, in which network you want to put, keep it default for some time. Okay, ISO file we don't have as of now. It's being uploaded. So just create a shell. This is a shell only. Okay, and also make sure that you are writing it using the thin provisioning. Always I am saying that. Next finish. So do you think this is a Windows VM? No, right? Because it doesn't have anything. You have only created shell. Shell means the physical hardware. Just like you have physical hardware, you are also having virtual hardware kind of thing. So this is a shell. This doesn't have anything. It's having hard disk, CPU, RAM, but it doesn't have anything. Now I'll go ahead and give the path. Once it's uploaded successfully, I'll give it. Meantime, you can also do, you can delete the old students. They are not coming, but they are engaging everything. Do you see here? They are having their vCenter and these things. They reserve space in GB. I have to delete it. You can also modify the storage by sitting here. Okay, you can delete. You can. I'll also tell you how to create template. Okay, if you want, you can delete this VM1, VM2, Web VM1. Okay, whoever is not putting their lab number, I'm going to delete it. Okay, let me delete. So this happens not yet. See, do you see Windows file is available now? Lab 14 VM 16 router. See, these guys are simply creating. Let me delete it. So what I am doing, this is how I do the refreshment of my storage. So if suppose I know that you are active student, so I'll not delete your resource. But if you are not active and simply you have engaged the resource here, then I'll go ahead and delete it. So till time this completes, we are doing this. Okay. Lab 12, 11 is was mine, 12, 12. Whoever is before 13, 23, I am going to delete it. Mistakenly, we'll delete our VM as well. But here we have lab 32. I'm not deleting that. Okay. So see, do you know how to upload the file? Now I have uploaded the file. Now I'll go ahead and use it. Use it to where? To this shell. I'll go to this shell. From here, I'll select the proper this one. But here you can say it's not in connected state. ISO file. I'll give the ISO file. Windows. Okay. I'll connect it. But whenever I'll go ahead and boot it, then you'll see same Windows installation. Okay, it's gives you the error that it doesn't have sufficient resources to satisfy. So what does that mean, sufficient resources? Either CPU or memory issue. So let's go ahead and see 32 is having how many of GB of RAM. So obviously it's having 32 GB. Then why it's not sufficient? It's sufficient, it's having everything. Let's go ahead and boot it again. Insufficient resource for HA failure. Let me go ahead and remove the HA. Okay. So what was that error? Any idea, guys? So the error was, yeah,
Availability failover, right?
yeah. Means what here you are saying, you are creating a such big VM. So the next device, which is supposed to take over once this is down, was is not capable for to do this. So that the reason it's showing that yes, I'll do it here, but it's not having the next device is not having sufficient storage. How come you do this? Okay, it was that. So I told that I don't want your service for now. But when you go to organization, the speed is 100x and more than that. Okay. So now I booted the Windows. Something went wrong. I'll go ahead and reset it. Reset. Okay. See, you have to press enter, right? See, your Windows installation started. So in organization, whenever you are doing any troubleshooting, that time you can set up your own Windows machine and do the troubleshooting. You should not rely and wait for the customer's device. Okay, so generally I do it myself. I don't want to wait for compute guys saying that give me your device. Okay, so what you need, Pro, Windows 10 Pro. Next. Okay, accept it. Next, and custom installation. You can format this device that whatever you have. This, see what you are doing, you have given virtual hard disk. Here, if you can see, you have given virtual hard disk. This hard disk I'm talking about 48 GB. Okay, so here you are formatting that device. You are not doing any other thing. Okay, and then you will install. So your installation begins here. Generally, you have done it on your physical box, right? Have you done it, Raju, Imran?
Yes.
Okay, where is Shabib? Mubin?
Uh, I need to ask. Just allow me a minute
No,
only.
not an issue, not an issue. Don't ask every day. Okay, and here one more thing here is you can see those two guys. They told that they have the puja and all this, so they are not joining. Okay, they'll watch the recordings.
Is
So Priyanka and Pradeep
today
and
Shabib
Prabhudas.
tried to join?
Hmm?
Is is Shabib tried to join today?
No, no, he has not
Did,
tried to join.
okay.
Leave it. Don't call it every day. Okay,
Yes.
sometime it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys. So what we are doing now? We are doing the installation. So now this is a VM we are creating. So now I'll show you one more thing that this is a one Windows machine. You can go ahead and set up it properly. So in future, if you want to use multiple time, then you can create a template. What do you mean by template? Same virtual machine within a minute you can apply it. Okay, you can replicate, create the clone copies. You don't need to go through all this process again and again. Okay, have you used Ghost software in order to do the installation on physical devices? Anyone?
Yes, I did
You
in
did.
past.
Fazal, have you seen that device?
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah. So what you this was physical replication, right? From physical to physical. Now you can also do virtually. Virtually means you will convert this virtual machine as a template and you can use it multiple times. So same way, I created one ESXi. If I move to my master vCenter, this is my master vCenter. Okay. So here you can see I do have one template with me. Okay, which I kept in my management folder. Okay, this is the template, ESXi template. I created it at once and I'm using it multiple time. Hundreds time I used it for creating your VMs, ESXi's, right? So how to do it? Simply click on any virtual machine and convert it to template. Okay, you can, if you convert it, then the extension will get changed, and you can also export it as a OVF or OVA file. So what is this? Generally, what happen? Any organization like VMware or any software organization, they will build their any of is a Linux virtual machine. Okay, that will act as a router or any of application. So what they simply do, they will build it and then they will export it in OVF. They will give it to you and they will simply ask you to import it in your environment. Once you import it, it will ask few questions. Okay, those questions you have to answer. Basic questions like what will be the IP and all those information, gateway, NTP IP, DNS IP, and those things. Once you answer those questions, then it will self modify himself that VM, and then VM will be ready as a software to serve in your area. Got my point? Okay. So this Windows installation is going on. We'll complete that Windows installation and we'll keep it for as a template purpose. Okay. Should I move
So,
next, or anyone is
yeah,
having
so
any
okay,
question?
yeah. So I have a question.
Mhm.
So if we are using the template, so no need to install the OS every time, right?
No, no need to install the every time. And also you can also select the questionnaire. What is that
Okay.
questionnaire is? In configured somewhere via options. Means see, you are creating it as a once, but multiple time you have to give the answers, right? That what is the IP and all those things. So this is something they can develop it. Okay. So Vikas, do you want to explain anything on this VApp option?
Sir, one question.
Hmm. Yes.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we create a template of this VM,
Mhm.
so the template will use these VMs just like data and ISO file, or it will use some from some other location.
No, 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 no. See, once you do the complete installation, now this VM. Oh my, I deleted. Okay, 1 minute. What was
I'll
your question?
explain. I'll explain what is generally template do. Suppose you have created one virtual machine as Sabir did it, any Windows virtual machine or any Linux virtual machine. You installed required software and VMware tool, everything. You configured that like for a project. So every time whenever you receive any kind of request for creating the virtual machine, so manually it will take a lot of time to configure the virtual machine. So simply VMware providing the feature that says template. So once you convert the virtual machine in a template, after that template you can use at a time you can create 100 VMs, more than 100 VMs. So this is the benefit of the template. Create one time, and after that you can deploy multiple virtual machine within a minute. Make sense?
Yes, just I I had asked about with a template. We hit a template request to create a multiple VMs. So at the
Mhm.
time, the template will use this source VMs
No,
data.
no, that will not. Source
No, no,
VM
no,
data will be different. Like
no,
that's.
Vikas.
Mhm,
Vikas, what he's asking, let me answer here.
mhm.
So, see, whenever you are, Bubin, whenever you are creating any idle, any sacha, you can say means any frame. The frame will be unique, right? Unique means that will not have any shared information. Like if you are creating any virtual machine, so you'll not create any data inside of that. Correct?
Not data. Just I am asking VM frame,
See,
just like ISO.
if what I'll do is I'll install it this operating system perfectly. I'll install all drivers, all necessary application, everything without any input, data input. Okay. Then I'll convert this Windows VM as a template. Later, whenever whoever needs this, he will get that basic information of this virtual machine.
Okay, just got it.
Got it right?
Yes.
Means if you want to have in desktop, if you want to have something any folder, you can also create at the time of creating the template. So everyone, all 100 machine will get same folder.
Yeah, I just got it. Template basically have to avoid the initial configuration, initial co just like configuration something.
Yeah, so you have to create a machine with initial configuration. Later they will modify as per their accordingly. Okay. So this
Yes,
is
got
how.
it.
And but now the question is there is one VApp option where you will have policies like you'll have means or it should not come up with same IP address every time. While creating template, you created one IP address, right? You have given one IP address 10.10.10.10. So every time it will come 10.10.10. You multiply it for exported. You clone 10 machines. Everyone came up with same IP. That should not happen. So that's the reason either first you don't give option IP, otherwise you can give here the V app option is there. You can give more options there. How to allocate IP address, many other things. What will be the name of this one? What will be the name? I'll show you once this installation is done. I'll show that. You want to add because
No, all good.
yeah. So guys, why I'm explaining to you this guy, this one, these things. because whenever you are now you are going to become a part of virtualization. How many of you have used Azure or AWS? Raise hand.
I had used, but very bit portion.
Okay, Fazal, Raju.
In real environment, no, but I have done the AWS classes.
Okay, yeah.
So
So there, have you seen that within a minute they are creating VM for you?
yeah, I see.
Only you have to select the option. So how it's that fast? Because of template. In background, they have created a such template which they have stored somewhere. You guys are going and selecting that, and it's creating behalf of you. Got it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, got
And that time you are giving inputs. What will be the VM name? What will be the IP address? What will be the username, password? So at the time of building that template, it will give that option that is called as VM. Okay. And you guys are thinking that the AWS is creating within a minute. So that technology, AWS is not sharing with us, but VMware is sharing with us. Yeah. Any question, guys?
No.
Okay. So 1 minute here. So why it's taking time? Because it's writing somewhere. Where it's writing, I'll go to 151. This is the device. You can see the network configuration here. See the network performance is totally high. See it's using how many. So why it's there in Mbps, kbps? Kbps is not high, right? 450 kbps. It shouldn't be in 100 mbps. See, it's actually the operating system is being built inside of this one. So there is one software, storage software I do have. This is that software. Okay. So inside of this software, that operating system, it's having three LUNs. One is Samsung and three are like this. So inside of this image file that is getting saved, 400 GB size. Okay. So here, and you can see this is there in my E drive. Actually, you are creating on your physical device, but it's getting saved here under these files. Your operating system is there under these files. Okay, and this is thick provision. What do you mean by thick provision? Whenever I created this disk image, automatically it was 400 GB
It will
without writing
acquire
anything.
a whole
It will
400
acquire.
GB in this.
Correct, correct. And what is storage means it will, whenever you keep adding, then it will add the storage there. It will write up. It will not acquire all. So this is how it's happening. So let me come back here. Windows, your Windows is done. अभी क्या बोलना है इसको कितने एरर आ जाएगा नहीं आया okay. So if you forget the password, it's easy for me to recover. Okay, till time it completes, I'll explain one more thing to you. Um, do you see these options? Okay, so this is the basic CPU and memory and all. Okay, if you want to expand this one, you'll see the hardware and all, CPU, memory. Okay, I'll go to monitor. From here, you can monitor all these things, performance and all on one page. If you want to see individually, you can go to advanced, and then you can select by your own any memory in this one, and you can also monitor it here. If anything wrong happened with this device, then it will generate the events. Okay, so what you did at what time, it will again show you that when this VM got rebooted. Okay, so whatever happened, you can see all this in this log. If anyone is performing a task, that will be captured here, hardware health and all that, all these things. I'll go to configure. Here you can see the storage devices configuration, but main point is come to this one. Sorry, virtual switch. Here you can see the virtual switch. So this is distributed switch. So if anyone is creating any new port group, it's coming here. Okay, and VM kernel adapter, it's nothing but the SVI of your device. So it's tagged with any port group. It's using this port group and it's using this VMK0 number and it's using IP address. Okay, so whenever you are going to use the uh, another one, again it will create one TEP address. Whenever you are going to use NSXT, it will create TEP network address. That will not be default TCP/IP. That is a VXLAN base. Okay, and here it's only supposed, it's currently it's only carrying the management traffic. If you want, you can go ahead and edit it, and you can ask him to also carry the VMotion traffic. You can also ask him to do the fault tolerance logging traffic. There are multiple patterns of traffic, but VMotion and management is fine for you guys. So for normal network, 1500 MTU is fine, but for VXLAN we need more than 1500. So that will be 1700 till 9000. Okay, I'll select this VMotion and correct, say yes. Physical adapters, you do have two physical adapters. One is connected, one is not in use because of storage. If you click it here, it will take you the same port. Here it's being used. So there is a logic here. Here two are there and it's using here with only one. Why it's not? Okay, if you go to storage here, then the network binding option is there. Why it's using two? See, second one it's not using. Anyway, come back, guys. So just I'm going through the setup of ESXi. This is ESXi. vCenter is different. The vCenter, with the help of console of vCenter, we are doing. But whenever I'm click on ESXi, then you are particularly means doing changes on this vCenter. ESXi, sorry. Okay. So whenever you click on physical adapter, then you are going about to change the configuration of physical adapter of that ESXi one. Okay. So here we do, you do have two physical adapters. Those are 10 GB and all these things. You can see CDP or LLDP information here. Whenever these devices boots up, then I want these VMs to be up. Okay, that information you can give. So I'll give you a live practical example in my lab too. So this is the second number which is handling my master vCenter and your VM which jump server. Okay, so if you go to configure and then this is a physical and yours is logical, so just keep watching this one. Okay, first tab is my physical and third tab is my logical. So whenever I go to first tab, I go to my VM shutdown and startup. You can see that I have given the order. that master automatically. If I go to automatic, then first it will go ahead and start the master and then this one, and remaining all will be manual. So what's happening, whenever I'm booting up, it's again booting my vCenter and this one. I don't have to boot that again. So that setting generally, if something happens to your device got restarted, physical device, so you have to give that VM startup and shutdown sequence to your VMs which you need quickly. Okay. Then swap file is not required. Licensing by default, VMware gives license. Okay. By default, it's for 60 days lab license. If you want, so I'll give a one link where you'll find some licenses which you can use it here, and I'm also using that license. Okay. Host profile. What is host profile? Suppose you did a good configuration. It's similar to template only. If you did a good configuration for one of host, and in future you are expecting 10 more hosts, then what you can do, simply you can create a host profile by right clicking on any of host profile, and you can extract it, and whatever new comes in, then you can right click there and attach it. So what it will do, it will go ahead and fetch that same configuration here. Okay. So that is something the you can copy the configuration from one host to another host. That is host profile. Time configuration. Time is very sensitive part here in automation world, so you must use our NTP server. Our this device is nothing, 1.11 is NTP server. How to create NTP server? There is a simple separate article is there. I'll show you. So only
Sir,
in,
one question.
yeah,
Host profile, it can only works with for physical
ESXi.
ESI,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
physical or logical, any ESXi it will work with.
Only for ESXi,
Yeah.
right?
So you should know. Actually, you guys are not going to work on host profile and all these licensing stuff, but you
Just we
should know
need
it.
to know.
Yeah. Okay. So here time NTP configuration. So I created this as a NTP server. So you can go ahead and point it here. Manual setup. You can do it manually, or you can point it to the NTP protocol. So here I'll give 192.168.1.11 as an IP. So if you are using any IP, I'm using 32, so it's easy to reach 1.11. Okay. If you configure this, then it will take correct time. Okay. See 1.10.13 p.m. It will correct it. Yeah. Then certificate power management. Power management is not required. Advanced system configuration, that is also not required. See, every device comes up with firewall. Even your Linux operating system, Windows operating system, anything. Okay. So I'll do one thing. First, let me shut down this VM. So by shutting down it from here is same thing. Okay, which you can do it from outside world, like doing right click and power and shut down. This is, see why it's showing, why it's not showing, why it's grayed out. Why? Because there is one software which must be installed inside of that. So that is called as VMware tool. VMware tool is not yet installed. That the reason it's not from externally, the VMware, yes, vCenter is not able to go to that VM and then do it. So we'll do it manually. I'll click on install. So it will mount a CD inside of your operating system. Okay. If you go to your operating system, you can see it here somewhere. Just now CD got attached. Okay. See, your CD drive got attached. You can run it. Once you run it, then it will have his agent inside of your operating system. So whenever externally you are going and saying shut down, so that agent will come talk to that operating system and then it will run that. Got it? So I'm installing that application. So it's for standard operating systems only. If you are coming with any non-standard or any operating system, for that VM tool will not work. Okay, suppose I got Slack somewhere at home, he written that code and then he came. So VMware will not support him. Okay, because VMware, he will try to support it if it's using the base flavors, but it will not support for now. So Windows is the known operating system, that the reason it's supporting. So what he has done now, we have from here we can go ahead and do the shutdown. You can see it soon, it will come. So always you have to follow the refresh option. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click on refresh. Meantime, I'll also check if it's done. It's asking for restart. Done. Let it restart. So once it's done, then from here now you can see those options will be enabled: restart and shutdown. If you do power off, power on, and suspend or reset or hard stop, then these are something the forceable item, okay, which you should not do. When if it's not responding, then it's fine, but you should not generally do these things. Power on is fine, but off and reset is not fine always. Yeah. Let me explain as so. See, every operating system is having the firewall. Windows, Linux, any operating system. So even ESXi is also having firewall. If you don't want anyone to see, it's SSH. If you want to block, you can simply block it. These are the general firewalling. Okay, inside traffic and outside traffic. Though you guys are from network background, you know TCP and UDP ports and allowed or disallowed. You can go ahead and edit it. It's all up to you. Okay. Services. As I told you that any operating system will also come up with services as well. So what do you mean by services? Generally, if you are using Windows, then you are having printer service, NTP service, lot file sharing service. Okay. Same way, Windows, this ESXi is also having come up with services. So first service you can see direct console UI. What does that mean? That means if you click on any ESXi, if you go ahead and connect the console, then you'll see this yellow page. So this is nothing but direct UI. Okay. So if you are unsure that someone will visit my data center and he will connect the keyboard and he will manage to go inside, then that time you can go ahead and disable it. Okay, guys, I'm jumping from one to another. I'll go ahead and shut this down first, then we'll discuss more. See, now this option is there. If you shut down, then this will gracefully shut down. See, it's shutting down gracefully. Fine. Okay. Let me come back to my point. So here, this option is called as DCUI. Okay. So if you don't want that, let me take you. No matter if I am using my physical or logical, both are same one only. Where is services? Services. See, if you don't want to show these guys to others, then you can go ahead and stop it. If you stop it, that guy will not be able to take the control. Okay. See, I stopped it for this one. If I refresh, then you will not be able to see it next. See, I'll go ahead and try it now. I stopped it, right? But you won't be able to access it.
Okay, if you stop that, so no one can take a direct control of the physical host, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you
Yes.
see direct console access has been disabled by the administrator? I did the changes here from UI, right?
From
I
the
am on.
vCenter, we can manage the that host only, right?
Yes. Okay. If you start it, then start. No one can SSA. What is the difference between ESXi shell and SSH? SSH is a normal command and shell is something it will take you to the Linux shell. Okay. So these two services, if you want, you can run it. So generally what happen, the guys will go ahead and by default the service is not running and you are hitting to that service on that port. See, it's not allowing me now. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and start this SSH service. So when you are doing troubleshooting, so generally tag team will ask for the authentication. Okay. So to this ESXi, you can go ahead and do it. Now it will prompt me for username and password. Fine. So whenever I log in, it will take me to different prompt. But if I use this one, then it will take me on different prompt. So like that, there are many services, NTP and syslog and all. You can turn off and on. It's all up to you. Okay. SETI security profile is not required for you guys. System swap memory packages. So this compute administrator, okay, who upgrade himself, he will become the virtualized man engineer administrator. Okay. And the network engineer who upgrade himself, then he will come in software defined networking virtualization. Simple. So if you want to shut down these things, then you won't be able to install the VMware here tool. If you try to, it won't work. You can see. Okay. Coming back to this point, see, it's saying that something error. Okay. Coming back to this point, any question, guys, on ESXi and all? Here, this folder is for you only. You can create as many as folder you want, and you can go ahead and put it. For you guys, you can see I created lot many folders with lab one, all lab folders. So I'm keeping your information inside of that lab. So you can see I'm giving something, my management devices I'm keeping inside of this. Okay. So this is the folder. If I come back to the lab VM, you can create as many as folder. These are the storage, remote storage. You can also have local storage plus remote storage. If I take you to my data center, you can see both. The one which starts with local is local. The one which starts with this one is that one. So I'll go ahead and do the refresh. So the one which you are seeing, I'm also seeing that. See, you are seeing it from lab. I'm also seeing it from here. So where is your Windows is installed? On storage A, right? Storage A. I can also see that. I'll go to storage A and I can also browse that. I can bring that to me. Means, see, this is your Windows and this is the hard disk of that. You release it, I'll catch it. You release it from, see, generally it will not happen in production, but in lab I can do that. So what I can do, I can remove it from here and then I can take it in my, because I'm also using same storage. Okay. So this is the one. Okay. Coming back to this point. Now I shut down this virtual machine. So what to do this virtual machine? I want to use it as a template. What I'll do, I'll go ahead and convert it as a template. Convert to template. So this file, whatever where there is VMX file will get changed. Okay, there is a one VMX file. I had to zoom in and out. Okay, so there is one VMDK file. This is your hard disk. Okay, there is one VMX file. This is the VMX file. Okay, this will get changed. This file. So if I go ahead and convert it to template, convert to template. Yes, within a minute it will get converted to template. So where it is now, it's inside of folder. Okay, discovered VM. This is the one. Now I want more Windows servers. So I can go ahead and click new VM from this template. I say that lab 32 web 1. Okay, where you want to keep, I'll give the path. On which device you want, I'll give the path. Okay, which storage you want, I'll give it. Do you want to customize anything? Do you want to power on the virtual machine after creation? And those things you can go ahead and answer. If you want to customize, then you have to give the customization option. But let's finish. So see, within a minute now your new Windows file is created. Windows VM is created. See. So this is how Amazon and AWS both they are doing. See your web VM they are launching. This will be created shortly. Same time you can also monitor the utilization. I'll go to 6 and I'll check the utilization. Utilization is normal, CPU and storage. Okay, hardware utilization. But Why it's taking time? Because it's there somewhere outside. It depends on networking. If you come here, so I see one problem here. It's in kbps. No, it's in mbps. Do you see here? It's copying data in 100 mbps speed.
I think
See,
the port is 1 gig.
yeah, port is 1 gig, but if I go with dual one, then my storage will not work. So here I have to go ahead and install the 10 gig NIC card, right? So it's using highest of 100 10 gig or 1 gig. See, now it's done. It's done means you can come here, you can see your operation is completed. If once your operation is completed, you have Windows VM again, you can boot it. So within a minute, now we have one Windows machine available. How come it's possible? Because of this template. If you want one more, you can go ahead and use it. Lab 32 app. But guys, don't create this one. I'm using it testing purpose. You guys are not going to do anything, but you will increase my load, lab load. Okay? Because it's not a one guy who is doing. If you create more VMs, then it will create problem. So it's creating another one. Okay? Same operation. I'm doing it through a script. Okay, so what we learned till so far, how to create VM, how to convert it to template, how to use template, okay, and many other things with your physical storage, ESXi. If you can see configured option, I explain you whatever you need first. If you have graphic card, you can also use this. You can see I do have NVIDIA graphic card installed, which I purchased in second, in something 22,000 rupees. Okay, this new comes in 42,000. He gave me new in 22,000. Okay, GeForce RTX NVIDIA 3000. So this one, if you want to use, this guy will not allow you to do that. Okay, if you want to attach this to any VM, then GeForce say that you have to buy the advanced version of my RTX. This version is not supported for the virtualization. So they have their own limitations. You have also PCI cards or whatever. Permissions are also there. Don't go for this one. This is not for you. VMs, these many total VMs, and these are the power on VM. You can go ahead and state, you can ascending order or descending order. So top three are power on, remaining are power off. You can also see how many data centers I do have. Local I do have two, and remote I do have three. Okay. Then how many networks are there? You can see these many networks I do have. Okay, if anyone creates anything, then you will also see those updates. The computer guy will, they will do that. Okay guys, should we take a break? So after that we'll start the NSXT. So let's meet at 10:40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay guys. Okay, guys, how many are back?
Yes, I'm back.
I'm also.
Me too. I'm also back.
Okay. Mubin, Shabib, Imran, Raju. Imran sir.
I'm
I'm back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Raju is
Yes, sir.
also there. Okay. Okay, guys. So, guys, from next week, I'm expecting practical from you. Okay. From Monday onwards, you can ping me. So, you can continue with your practicals. Yeah. So, let me explain now. Should we move for NSX?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's start now. So, NSXT. So, just let me explain the portfolio before this. Okay, so what is NSXT portfolio means? That means that how many type of means the ways of virtualization NSXT support. NSX support or VMware supports. VMware is not VMware nowadays. VMware has become Broadcom now. Okay, Broadcom is a big company who acquired the VMware. So now it's Broadcom or Broadcom or VMware, whatever you call. Okay, so if you see it, it also provides security, integration, extensibility, automation, and elasticity. We are going to cover one by one all these things. So be there with me. So first thing is NSXT. What is NSXT? NSXT is something a data center product. It's not there for your infrastructure, not it means for enterprise. It's for data center technology. For data center, it provides routing, switching, networking, means networking means routing switching only, and security for your data center workload. What is workload? Your virtual machine, what you have seen till so far, that is nothing but your workload. Okay, like this workload, two virtual machine we created in data center, you will have hundreds of virtual machines. Okay, from different this one, and it depends. You build a data center for your own, or you are going to service the data center, means you are providing the services. What do you mean by services? There are lot many companies, they will not afford the data center. So what they will do, they will go ahead and rent out your data center, or they will go ahead and take the services from you. So big companies will go ahead and set up their own data center, and then they provide the services. So that's the reason, to accommodate all the services, they build a data center where they need routing, switching, and firewalling or security and all these things. Okay, so NSXT is a product which provide the data center. NSXT also works in cloud. It means, if suppose if you want NSXT to be there in AWS or Azure, you can go ahead and install there as well. Okay, so they also have cloud support. NSXT intelligence. So what does that means? Security visibility. So each packet, see generally what happened, in data center, if you see in data center, non general traffic remains within data center only. Okay, the big amount of traffic remains within the data center. That is called east-west traffic. Whatever remains within the data center, they are connecting to each other, right? Someone is going left, someone is going right. They are not going up and down. They are connecting to each other. Okay, if you are watching any Facebook reels or anything, that time if you click once, then 100 different services will get activated within the data center. Okay, one service will show you the video, one service will record what you are doing, what activity you are doing, one service will record the logs, one service will provide the ads for you. There are different ways of services will get activated within the data center. In data center, traffic is huge. Okay, so it also provide the intelligence which give you the security visibility. Visibility means each and every packet will be, means those packets means on which ports how much traffic you are seeing. Generally what happen, we are plugging the our data center general legacy. See, what I call legacy is your old routing switching pattern, where you don't know what is happening inside of your devices. Okay, so you don't have much visibility, but here you will have visibility and you will get report in report format as well, that you have this much of data, your this source and this destination are talking too much on that port. So immediately you will highlight that, yeah, I have not configured such thing that these two devices will talk on that port. Then you will get highlighted and you will take a corrective action. Okay, policy management, you can also do the policy management by configuring the more firewall policies. And analytics, analytics comes in based on your output of your visibility. Okay, and what is compliance? Compliance means no company will go ahead and give you the contract until and unless you are compliance with that policy. Whenever you log on to any website, you can go to the below page. There you can see DCCI or any compliance, visa compliance or mastercard compliance or anything. There are many. If you see, I'll go to paytm.com. You can see here there are lot many certificates you have to achieve. Where I can get that? Compliances are there. There are many sites. You can go to SBI Net Banking home page. Guys, I'm not seeing any compliance page. You can see some of websites here where they are compliance with. Okay. So those compliance, if you want to make, then based on this, you can configure your data center accordingly. Okay. Then NSXT, IPS or IDS. Generally you have IPS firewall rules are there, which you guys are permitting. You guys are defining that this source will access to that destination on that port. That is your firewall policy. But what if that attacker use that policy and attack to you? Okay, the phishing attacks and multiple types of attacks are there, DDoS attacks. So those attacks will be suppressed by IPS and IDS. Okay, so that is coming in the software form nowadays. You don't need hardware. Okay, so your firewall routing switching, your load balancing, your IPS IDS, your intelligence, everything is software defined nowadays. So that is provided by the NSXT, that comes under NSXT portfolio. Again, you can also have advanced load balancer. So what is advanced load balancer? I think generally I should go through this one. Okay, so consistent networking and security across workload type. So generally how many types of workload you have? You will have ESXi devices, on top of which you will have virtual machines. So this is called as VM workload. So VM is something old nowadays because now we got containers. So what do you mean by containers? Generally what happen, I'll take you to this one. This is your hardware, ESXi hardware. On top of this, you will install the ESXi. Then you will install a Windows operating system, and then your application will be there. True. This is how the current pattern is, right? This is the one VM, and then you will install DNS here. Correct. So what this portion is doing? So they have removed this portion, and now it's there on container. It's running on container. Okay, container is, you can say, serverless as well. So that is called as container also needs networking. So who will provide that? NSX will provide networking to containers. Those are called as serverless as well. Okay, and then public cloud. So it does not mean that you always go for private cloud only. You'll have a hybrid cloud. Hybrid means, suppose you have 100 servers. Out of 10 are very sensitive, so you'll keep with your own within your data center. Then there are something, 50 servers are there, like FTP or something other servers. You will go ahead and give it to Azure. There are 10 or 20 servers are there, you will give it to AWS, and you'll keep 30 with you. So like this, you'll do such distribution. So the servers which are very sensitive, your guys are going to keep with you. That's the reason private cloud is required. Public cloud is also required because you don't want to invest that much in that portion on that application. So this happens. This is called a, um, total all workload management. You can have your own data center based on container or VM, or you can also use private cloud as well. Okay, and third thing is that is static. What do you mean by static? Generally there are few applications which will work on directly on hardware only. They don't support the hypervisors. Okay, or sometime what happen, they need more encryption and decryption specialized hardware, or something gaming device. Okay, so such devices need a bare metal. What do you mean by bare metal? Bare metal is something, the hardware, direct hardware. So that is called as static. So bare metal is also a kind of this one. So here seamless connectivity and security and physical workload. So bare metal, your database server or your storage or your something legacy app, mainframe or something, those will run on bare metal device. Okay, consistent networking and security across workload. So this, to all these things, NSXT is the one who will provide the networking. Even you are there inside of your data center, you can provide the networking to the cloud virtual machines which you are going to host. So before it was NV, now it has become T. Okay, full stack networking and security virtualization. What does that mean? Have you heard full stack developer? Any idea? He knows everything, right?
Yeah,
All languages.
JavaScript.
Yeah. So there is a stack, so he knows full stack. So full stack networking also came into. So one is federation, NSX federation. What is NSX federation? Suppose you have two data centers. So between two data centers, one data center is your active and another is standby. What do you mean by active and standby? Something happens in your active side, suppose Bombay and Pune, something goes wrong with Bombay. If any water logging and all these things happen there in Bombay, then you will shift all your workload to Pune location. So how you are going to do the same configuration within a minute? So that the reason federation comes in picture. Okay, so that is also called as DR, disaster recovery.
DR.
Okay, so what is DR? There are four ways to do the backup. Two ways I can say: backup and restore. Simply you can take the your folder backup, and then whenever if something got deleted, you can go ahead and restore it. Right? Same way there is a replication and restore, replication and restoration, backup, restoration, replication, and what is the opposite word for that replication? Backup, restore, replication and something. Okay, four words are there. Just backup का replicate, backup का restore हुआ और replication का क्या हुआ? Any idea guys?
रेप्लिकेशन का रेप्लिकेट करता है मशीन, वो मशीन आपका पावर ऑफ स्टेट में होता है, तो जो भी डेटा होता है वो कंटिन्यूसली एवरी लाइक क्या कहते हैं हाफ एन आवर या जितने भी हम अपना टाइम सेट करते हैं उस टाइम फ्रेम में वो रेप्लिकेट करता है.
या तो
कनेक्शन
उसको
स्टेट
रिस्टोर, ना
सिंक्रोनाइजेशन
उसको रिस्टोर करने के लिए क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
उसको रिस्टोर करने के लिए भी हम रिस्टोर ही करते हैं उसको, क्या कहते हैं सीधे उसको क्या कहते हैं, रिस्टोर वीएम ही बोलते हैं उसको भी हम.
replication versus, okay, I forgot that word. There are 4 words.
स्नैपशॉट बोलते हैं जो आप पहले
Backup, no, backup and restoration, that is one word, and replication का कुछ और होता है, ठीक है ना? But anyway, we are close to that. So DR environment क्या होता है guys? Just let me help you to understand. DR में क्या होता है? You have one site. आपका पूरा डेटा सेंटर इसमें चल रहा है, राउटिंग, स्विचिंग, फायरवॉलिंग, कंप्यूट, एवरीथिंग, ठीक है? तो क्या होता है कि भाई कंपनी आपको पूछती है कि भाई व्हाट इफ दिस फेल्स, तो आपको बताना होता है उनको कि अगर इन इवेंट ऑफ ये फेल होता है तो हम आपकी सर्विस ये हमारा बैकअप में रन करेंगे। ये पुणे में है, ये बॉम्बे में है, ठीक है ना? जनरली 99% ये कभी होता नहीं है, ठीक है? लेकिन कंपनियों को तो डर रहता ही है कि भाई कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाए, ठीक है? सो व्हाट दे डू, दे वी हैव प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी। तो प्राइमरी में जो भी काम होता है वो पूरा रिप्लिकेट होता है सेकेंडरी में, रिस्टोरेशन, ठीक है? रिप्लिकेशन एंड रिस्टोरेशन, बैकअप एंड रिस्टोर, ओके, एनीवे। तो जितना प्राइमरी में आप एक वीएम बनाओगे, ठीक है, वो सेकेंडरी में जाकर रिप्लेट करेगा, वैसी वीएम बना के उसको डोरमेंट स्टेट बंद करके रख देगा, ठीक है? और उसमें डेटा फीड करते रहेगा। यहाँ पे आप कुछ चेंजेस करो, एक फोल्डर बनाओ, वो थोड़ी देर में उधर भी एक बाजू में जाके एक फोल्डर बना देगा, लेकिन ये बंद रहेगा, चालू नहीं रहेगा, ठीक है? तो ये होते जाएगा, होते जाएगा, होते जाएगा। जब भी आपकी प्राइमरी साइट फेल होगी तो ये आप हो जाएगी। जैसे पहले ये इंटरनेट को सर्व कर रही थी ये साइट, पहले ट्रैफिक इधर से आता था, अभी ये बंद होके इधर से आएगा। Got it? So this is called as production and this is called as DR. तो they need compute, storage and networking. तो नेटवर्किंग अगर आपको चाहिए तो आपको अगर फिजिकल करने जाएंगे तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, वहां पे फिजिकल राउटर प्लेस करके रखना पड़ेगा, फिजिकल स्विच रखना पड़ेगा, फिजिकल ये रखना पड़ेंगे, फिजिकल सर्वर्स रखना पड़ेंगे। लेकिन अभी जमाना चेंज हो गया, ये चेंज होके बहुत टाइम हो गया, लेकिन अभी आपको पता चल रहा रहेगा कि दिस टेक्नोलॉजी इज कॉल्ड एज रिकवर टू क्लाउड। इंस्टेड ऑफ आप किसी लोकेशन में रिकवर करने से अच्छा, मैं आई वर्क इन सनगार्ड, तो सनगार्ड बोलता था भाई आप प्रोडक्शन का डीआर क्यों बना रहे हो, आप एक काम करो, हम आप सनगार्ड को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे दो, हम हमारे पास रिकवर करा लेंगे, ठीक है? आप एक काम करो, आप सनगार्ड को, ये हम सनगार्ड है ये ग्रीन में, आप बोलो आप कितने सर्वर है, आप मुझे वो सर्वर दे दो, मैं मेरे पास रख लूंगा यहाँ पे, ठीक है? और इसका भी बैकअप रख लूंगा। और तो फिर सनगार्ड क्या करता था, आपको रिप्लिकेशन प्रोवाइड करता था। तो यहाँ से सनगार्ड का एक राउटर और यहाँ से आपका राउटर दोनों मिलके बात करके रिप्लिकेशन देंगे, आपकी ये वीएम यहाँ पे जाके बन जाएगी। जब भी आपको चाहिए तो फिर वो दे देंगे। तो यहाँ से नेटवर्क इंजीनियर आप होते थे, बिकॉज सनगार्ड वाज नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विस टू ओनली वन सर्वर, राइट? ही वाज प्रोवाइडिंग टू हंड्रेड्स ऑफ सर्वर्स, हंड्रेड्स ऑफ कस्टमर्स, ठीक है? सो दैट इज कॉल्ड डीआर एंड डीआर इवेंट्स ऑन रिकवर टू क्लाउड। ओके, सो ये काम मैं 2014 में आई वाज दी टीम लीड फॉर और वट एवर यू कैन से, मैं ये करता था 2014 में। नाउ इट्स 10 इयर्स नाउ, ओके, ठीक है ना? सो नेक्स्ट इज गवर्नमेंट क्लाउड। सो गवर्नमेंट क्या बोलता है कि भाई आई डोंट वांट टू कंटिन्यू विद पब्लिक क्लाउड, मुझे अज्यूर और एडब्ल्यूएस मेरे लिए चाहिए। सो अज्यूर ने, एडब्ल्यूएस ने गवर्नमेंट के लिए क्लाउड बना दिया, ठीक है? मल्टी टेनेंसी, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय मल्टी टेनेंसी? जनरली टेनेंट होते हैं अपने पास, या एनी आइडिया मल्टी टेनेंसी?
मल्टी टेनेंसी मीन्स इन सर्वर्स, राइट? तो उनका डेटा जो गवर्नमेंट का रहेगा, डेटाबेस डीबी बोलते हैं उसको, डीबी
नहीं, अभी
स्टोरेज।
गवर्नमेंट पिक्चर में नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट में तो सिंगल टेनेंट है वो, ठीक
टेनेंट्स
है?
मीन्स काइंड ऑफ ग्रुप
या
Multi-tenancy like
with a
multiple
single
company groups.
single
Domain.
umbrella kind of.
नहीं, देखो मल्टी टेनेंसी में क्या होता है कि जैसे अपने पास टेनेंट होते हैं ना चॉल, उसमें क्या होता है, मल्टी टेनेंसी होती है ना, सब शेयर्ड होता है उसमें। गॉट इट? हाँ विकास, कुछ बोल रहे हो? ठीक है।
नहीं नहीं, मैं बस यही बोलने वाला था कि मल्टी टेनेंसी क्या है कि एक टाइप से सॉफ्टवेयर है जिसे हम एक एक पर्टिकुलर कई लोग एक्सेस कर सकते हैं उसको।
नहीं नहीं, वो भी नहीं।
वो भी नहीं।
ठीक है, मल्टी टेनेंसी क्या होता है डेटा सेंटर में कि देखिए, डेटा सेंटर आपके लिए खुद के लिए बनाना है तो आपको उतना खर्चा देना पड़ेगा, राइट?
ओके।
तो हम आप क्या करेंगे, मैं एक बेस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाता हूँ, बेस एसीआई फैब्रिक बनाऊंगा, बेस एनएसएक्सटी बनाऊंगा। आपका अगर कुछ सर्वर्स है, बोलो 10 सर्वर्स, मेरा 100 सर्वर का 1000 सर्वर का कैपेसिटी है, आपका रिक्वायरमेंट 20 सर्वर का है, तो आपके लिए मैं वो 100 सर्वर का इतना बड़ा बना दूं? नहीं, राइट? तो मैं क्या करूंगा, आप जैसे 10 को लूंगा तो मुझे 200 सर्वर का अकोमोडेशन मिल जाएगा। आई एम अ कंपनी, मैं एक कंपनी हूँ जो कि सर्विस प्रोवाइडर कर रही है। गॉट इट? तो वो क्या करेगा, जैसे होटल, होटल में क्या होता है, वो होटल में जब खाना बनाता है तो एक के लिए बनाते हैं क्या? व्हाट
नहीं,
दे डू, दे कुकिंग फॉर मोर मींस हंड्रेड ऑफ गाइस, राइट? लेकिन घर में जब बनाते हैं तो आप 10 लोगों के लिए बनाते हो, राइट? वो भी
yes,
आपके नोन रहते हैं, सिंगल टेनेंट होते हैं, और कोई फर्क नहीं गिरता किसी ने ज्यादा खाया क्या, किसी ने कम खाया क्या। होटल में
means
ऐसा होता है कि बाजू वाले के प्लेट से थोड़ा लेते हैं, उसने खाया नहीं तो।
मल्टी टेनेंसी से हम मतलब कस्टमर्स को सेपरेट रख सकते हैं, उसका ये ना।
राइट, यू हैव टू पार्टीशन इन बिटवीन देम। देखो, पहले तो हमको शेयर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर समझना पड़ेगा। शेयर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में क्या होता है कि भाई, आई डू हैव अ बिग डेटा सेंटर, मेरे पास बड़ा के बड़ा डेटा सेंटर है, ठीक है ना? मेरे पास बड़ा का बड़ा डेटा सेंटर है, और इसमें आपने बोला है कि भाई तुम्हारे पास कुछ 100 सर्वर्स है, तुमको 100 सर्वर्स का स्पेस चाहिए, लेकिन मेरा तो डेटा सेंटर 1000 सर्वर के लिए बना है। कितने 1000 सर्वर के लिए बना है? आपको 100 दूंगा तो रिमेनिंग क्या करूंगा? 900 मैं उसका रिसोर्स ऐसे ही जाने दूंगा? नहीं, राइट? तो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, 100 सर्वर्स आपको देता हूँ, 100 सर्वर्स कोई और आएगा, ठीक है, वो ले लेगा। फिर 100 सर्वर कोई और आएगा, कोई और ले लेगा। फिर और 100 सर्वर, 200 सर्वर कोई और लेगा। ऐसे करते करते मेरा 80% पूरा सेल हो जाएगा 1000 का। गॉट माय पॉइंट? सो दे आर कॉल्ड एज टेनेंट। ये टेनेंट्स है। तो ये टेनेंट को सपोर्ट करने के लिए हमने वीआरएफ बनाया। ये अलग अलग इसमें सपोर्ट होते हैं, जैसे कि आप कंप्यूट में जाएंगे तो यू कीप देम इन सेपरेट क्लस्टर।
जैसे अगर मैं एक एग्जांपल देना चाहूँ, अज्यूर में हम एक टेनेंट बनाते हैं, एक पूरा सब्सक्रिप्शन के।
नहीं, अजूर में मत जाओ, अजूर में मत जाओ,
ओके,
क्योंकि अजूर बहुत जनों को पता नहीं है, राइट?
ओके,
तो अगर आपको जाना है कि सपोज लैब 32 एक इमरान पठान का था, तो
ओके।
मैं यहाँ कंप्यूट में अगर करूंगा यहाँ पे, तो
हम्म,
मैं जाऊंगा एक क्लस्टर बनाऊंगा, किसके लिए? लैब 33 के लिए,
ठीक है,
ठीक है। और देन व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल कॉल फ्यू रिसोर्सेस, ये दो सर्वर मैं इसमें कॉल कर लूंगा।
ठीक है।
तो ये दो सर्वर अलग काम करेंगे और ये दो सर्वर अलग काम करेंगे,
अलग
दोनों का
काम
कुछ
करेंगे।
संबंध है क्या? नहीं, राइट?
नहीं, 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 ये दोनों टेनेंट हो गए
हाँ,
फिर।
इनके लिए स्टोरेज में अलग रखूंगा, इनके लिए मैं दूसरा नया बना दूंगा, स्विच
हम्म,
33 के लिए अलग बनाऊंगा। तो ये
हम्म।
कंप्यूट लेवल आपने क्या किया, उसको सेपरेट कर लिया,
सेपरेट कर दिया।
ठीक है। आप कंप्यूट लेवल किए, लेकिन नेटवर्क लेवल कौन करेगा? यू
वीआरएफ।
हैव, ठीक है, स्टोरेज लेवल में आपने उसको अलग से हार्ड डिस्क डाल दिया, ठीक है, ठीक है, तो वो करेगा वीआरएफ। कौन करेगा? तो यहाँ पे वीआरएफ सपोर्ट भी देता है एनएसएक्स नाउ, जो कि पहले कभी नहीं था इसके पास। पहले वीआरएफ के लिए आपको फिजिकल हार्डवेयर पे आना ही पड़ता था। जनरली इफ आई टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस वन,
और
ओके,
वीआरएफ होता क्या है?
ठीक है ना, वो भी बताता हूँ। चलो, अभी क्या है पता है कि मैं डेटा सेंटर डिजाइन करता हूँ एक, ठीक है। ये मेरा पूरा बड़ा के बड़ा डेटा सेंटर है, ये मेरा बड़ा का बड़ा डेटा सेंटर है, ठीक है। एवरीवन एग्री विद दिस? ठीक है। अब इसमें मैंने क्या किया, इसमें मैंने एसीआई का फैब्रिक इंस्टॉल किया। ये एसीआई है। एसीआई ने बोला कि भाई आई एम यू गोइंग टू यूज स्पाइन एंड लीफ टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है। तो अब मैंने क्या किया, एक कस्टमर आया, रेड कस्टमर, उसने बोला कि भाई मुझे फिजिकल हार्डवेयर चाहिए, तो भाई ले ले तेरे लिए फिजिकल हार्डवेयर, ठीक है। फिर दूसरा ब्लैक कस्टमर आया, ऑरेंज कस्टमर आया, उसने बोला मेरे लिए भी दो मंगवा लो। ग्रीन आया, ग्रीन ने बोला कि मेरे लिए भी दो मंगवा लो, ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद में कुछ ब्लू आएगा, ब्लू बोलेगा मेरे लिए भी तीन चाहिए। तो मुझे बताओ कंप्यूट लेवल में ये सेपरेट सेपरेट है कि नहीं है? इनके बीच में पार्टीशन है कि नहीं है?
सेपरेट सेपरेट ही है।
लेकिन
सेपरेट
अब
है, बट
प्रॉब्लम
यहाँ पे
ये है,
नेटवर्क एक ही स्विच और एक ही स्पाइनल लीफ टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करने वाले हैं ये सब।
यस, अब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हर एक के लिए मैं स्पाइन एंड लीफ लाऊंगा तो मैं तो प्रॉब्लम में आ जाऊंगा। ठीक है, और मैं स्पाइन लीफ में नहीं जाता हूँ, पहली बात। चलो, मैं स्पाइन लीफ में भी नहीं जाता हूँ अभी। मैं इसको भी हटा देता हूँ। मैं अब नॉर्मल स्विच पे आता हूँ। ठीक है, ये L3 स्विच है। डेटा सेंटर में वो 3 टियर आर्किटेक्चर कम ही होता है। गॉट इट? ठीक है ना? तो ये सर्वर्स डायरेक्टली अब यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, कनेक्ट हो रहे हैं। कौन से वाले? ये आपके सर्वर क्या हुए, मेरे स्विच को कनेक्ट हो गए। गॉट माय पॉइंट? कोई किधर कनेक्ट हुआ तो कोई इधर, रिडंडेंसी के लिए मैं उतना नहीं देखता हूँ, लेकिन ऑल केम टू शेड ओनली। अब यहाँ पे कनेक्ट हुए तो मुझे वीलैन तो देना पड़ेगा। तो रेड को सपोज मैंने दिया 100 और ग्रीन को दिया मैंने 200 और ब्लू को दिया मैंने वीलैन 300। ठीक है, एक एक ही वीलैन लेते हैं। अब आपको क्या लगता है यहाँ पे जाके 100 200 300 एक दूसरे को बात करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे?
हाँ, नहीं करेंगे अगर राउटिंग
क्यों
नहीं है
नहीं
तो।
करेंगे? राउटिंग बाय डिफॉल्ट होती है ना, बगैर राउटिंग के कैसे करेंगे?
करेंगे because the routing table is the all are in the same routing table,
करेक्ट।
global
पूरे
routing table.
ये दो स्विचेस का राउटिंग टेबल एक ही होता है कि नहीं होता? तो दिस बिकम चैलेंज। तो कल के को क्या हुआ, ये बैंकिंग थे, ये दो ग्रीन और ब्लू बैंकिंग थे। बीच में किसी चोर ने एक कंपनी रजिस्टर किया और आ गया आपके पास कस्टमर बन के। वो चुराएगा कि नहीं डेटा फिर इजीली? बाजू में आके बैठा ना वो तो, राइट? तो ये दो तो कंपनी डर जाएंगी। गॉट माय पॉइंट? तो इनके लिए पार्टीशन कहाँ पे हुआ? इनके लिए पार्टीशन तब हुआ जब आपने वीआरएफ कॉन्फ़िगर किया। आपने क्या बोला कि भाई चलो, ब्लू के लिए एक अलग राउटिंग टेबल बनेगा। ठीक है, और रेड के लिए अलग राउटिंग टेबल बनेगा और ग्रीन के लिए अलग राउटिंग टेबल बनेगा। तो सबका अपना अपना राउटिंग हुआ, तो राउटिंग सेपरेट हो गया, लेकिन स्विचिंग तो सेम है। अगर किसी ने गलती से 100 यहाँ पे कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकता है कि नहीं कर सकता है? 100 वीलैन में ये सर्वर को
कर सकते हैं।
कर सकता है, राइट? तो स्विचिंग में कुछ ये हुआ क्या, सिक्योरिटी मिला क्या? तो
कोई
हाँ, सिक्योरिटी में मैं प्रूनिंग कर सकता हूँ। क्या कर सकता हूँ? वीलैन प्रूनिंग। एक मैं विप्रो में काम को था, सो एक राउटर, एक कंपनी था, वो बहुत एकदम नहीं क्या, गेटवे लेवल पे बहुत सिक्योरिटी देता था, बहुत बड़ा बैंक था, स्विस बैंक, विप्रो में। तो मैं हमारे सर को पूछा कि सर ये तो यहाँ पे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम जहाँ बैठे हैं इस ओडीसी में, आई कैन गो अहेड एंड कॉन्फ़िगर देयर वीलैन, उसके उनके वीलैन में मेरा लैपटॉप कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकता हूँ क्या? उन्होंने बोले हाँ कर सकते हैं। तो फिर सिक्योरिटी क्या हुई? वो बताने की एक अलग रहती है और खाने की एक अलग रहती। समझ में आया आपके?
समझा।
गॉट माय पॉइंट? दे वर डूइंग एट दैट पॉइंट। और मैं बैठा हूँ, ठीक है, मेरे पास नेटवर्क का कॉन्फ़िगरेशन कोई भी नहीं करता, ठीक है, आई डू हैव दैट प्रिविलेज, लेकिन मैं तो कर सकता हूँ ना। मैं सिंपली उनके विलान में चले जाऊंगा, मैं एक आईपी दे दूंगा। ठीक है, लेकिन फिर उन्होंने क्या किया, एक नया प्रोटोकॉल आया 801, वो एक्स वाला, वो ऑथेंटिकेशन पूछेगा मुझे। जब तक मैं ऑथेंटिकेट नहीं करूंगा तब तक मुझे आईपी मिलेगा क्या? समझ रहे हो आप? सो लेयर ऑफ सिक्योरिटीज है। जैसे आप डेटा सेंटर टेक्नोलॉजी में काम करते हो, बहुत से चीजें आपको सीखनी होती है। ठीक है, तो ये एक वीआरएफ है एनीवे, और ये एक वीआरएफ है, और ये एक वीआरएफ है। ये तीन वीआरएफ अलग अलग राउटिंग कैरी करते हैं। तो वीआरएफ के लिए मुझे बाहर आना है, और पहले तो मैं तो बोल रहा था मैं बॉक्स से बाहर आऊंगा ही नहीं। एनएसएक्सटी ने अभी वीआरएफ को क्या किया, अंदर लेकर आया। कहाँ लेकर आया? अंदर। गॉट माय पॉइंट? इससे पहले नहीं था ऐसे। अभी नाउ वी स्टार्टेड सपोर्टिंग वीआरएफ। ठीक है, वीपीएन के लिए पहले बाहर जाना पड़ता था आईपीसेक वीपीएन स्टैब्लिश करने के लिए, ये राउटर के पास अभी वीपीएन भी यहाँ पे होगा। एसएसएल वीपीएन बोलो या आईपीसेक वीपीएन बोलो, यहाँ पे एक आपको वीएम एज अ राउटर मिलेगा। उसका उतना कैपेसिटी नहीं रहेगा इंक्रिप्शन डिक्रिप्शन का, तो उसके लिए आप हार्डवेयर परचेस कर सकते हो। ठीक है, तो ये वीआरएफ का टेक्नोलॉजी उसने क्या किया, उसने लिया, उसको कंप्रेस किया और वो लेके आया अंदर, इसके अंदर। आया समझ में सबके? व्हाट इज वीआरएफ? ठीक है, वर्चुअल राउटिंग एंड फॉरवर्डिंग, डायनेमिक नेटवर्क सर्विस चेनिंग। ठीक है। डायनेमिक सर्विस मीन्स आप मैनुअल देते थे, अब ये डायनेमिकली एक दूसरे से लेता है। तो ये विल टॉक मोर डीप ऑन व्हाट डायनेमिक आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट। जनरली हम आईपी एड्रेस देते हैं, वो सर्वर के पास जाके खुद आईपी एड्रेस बुला के लेके आएगा, और सर्वर ने आईपी चेंज किया तो ये भी कर लेगा चेंज, जनरली जो होता नहीं है। ठीक है। सो देर आर लॉट मेनी थिंग्स VMware इज सपोर्टिंग नाउअडेज। ओके। सेइंग बेस्ट इन क्लास इन सिक्योरिटी, तो ये बोल रहा है कि भाई आपको आईडीएस चाहिए ना, मैं देता हूँ ना। ठीक है। फिर आपको L7 एज फायरवॉल, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय L7? L4 में क्या
uh,
होता है, आप TCP बोलो।
next generation firewall.
ठीक है। नेक्स्ट जनरेशन फायरवॉल में क्या है पता है क्या, ये सिर्फ TCP IP पे काम नहीं करते, ये नेक्स्ट जनरेशन मीन्स थोड़ा और अंदर जाके और उस बेस पे क्लासिफिकेशन करते हैं। ठीक है। अब यहाँ पे URL बेस्ड क्लासिफिकेशन एंड रेपुटेशन है, तो URL कौन से कंट्री का है, किधर है, ये आपको अलग से प्रॉक्सी वगैरह अलग से एप्लीकेशन डालना नहीं है। ये NSX बोलेगा मैं देता हूँ ना, वन अंडर सेम अम्ब्रेला मैं सब देता हूँ आपको। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट, आपको बाहर जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है। ठीक है। DFW फॉर विंडोज, ये DFW का थोड़ा एक अलग से टॉपिक है, ये मैं अलग से लूंगा, अभी मैं कंफ्यूज नहीं करता हूँ इसको बता के। ठीक है। सो ये बोल रहा है कि मैं सिक्योरिटी आपको पूरी दे रहा हूँ ना, तो कहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी दे रहा है पता है आपको, ये आपको VM लेवल पे सिक्योरिटी देता है। व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय VM लेवल? जैसे कि आपका ये वर्चुअल मशीन है, तो फायरवॉल कहाँ पे आप लगाते हैं मुझे बताओ। जनरली जहाँ राउटर है वहां पे फायरवॉल होता है, एग्री?
राइट राइट।
देखो आपका ACI है तो ACI में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स है। ठीक है। आपका नेक्सस होता तो नेक्सस फायरवॉलिंग करता है क्या?
नेक्सा फायरवॉलिंग भी करता है?
नहीं, नहीं करता है। फायरवॉलिंग
नहीं,
के लिए आपको एसीआई के पास ट्रैफिक भेजना पड़ता है, फिर वापस भी लेना पड़ता है, राइट? तो ये बोलता है यार आप उतने दूर क्यों जा रहे हैं, मैं आपको यहाँ पे फायरवॉलिंग देता हूँ, निक कार्ड पे। कहाँ पे? आपके हर एक VM के निक कार्ड पे फायरवॉलिंग देते हैं, इसको बोलते हैं माइक्रो सेगमेंटेशन। क्या बोलते हैं इसको?
माइक्रो सेगमेंटेशन।
ये देखो, इसको बोलते हैं माइक्रो सेगमेंटेशन। ये आपका विंडोज का सर्वर है, आपका ये जो निक कार्ड है ना, यहीं पे फायरवॉल रूल भेज देगा वो, कि भाई ये सर्वर ये ले निक कार्ड एंड देन यू डू इट। इसका बेस्ट एग्जांपल आप समझो, आपको जाना है पिक्चर को, राइट? तो आप परमिशन कहाँ से लेते हो, घर पे बैठे ही लेते हो कि वहां पे जाने के बाद आप चेक करोगे हाउसफुल हुआ नहीं हुआ?
घर से भी पता लग जाता है,
वो कैसे पता लगता है?
तो वो वेबसाइट पे जाके चेक कर लेते हैं।
यस, तो आपको कहाँ पे मिला है फैसिलिटी, घर बैठ के मिला, राइट?
बिल्कुल।
इवन यू कैन डू अ बस बुकिंग, कहाँ से करते हो बस का बुकिंग?
घर से बैठे।
Yeah, and you can also have option to select the टाइमिंग, अर्ली कौन सा है, लेट डिपार्चर कौन सा है, सीट कौन सी चाहिए, ऊपर की नीचे की, एसी चाहिए नॉन एसी चाहिए, ऑल फैसिलिटी यू कैन गो अहेड एंड डू इट एट अ सिंगल क्लिक बाय सिटिंग एट होम। सेम वे में आपको पूरा फायरवॉलिंग यहाँ पे ही मिल जाता है, तो आपके VM को बाहर जाने से पहले ही पता चल जाएगा कि भाई अपना परमिशन है या नहीं है। तो अगर आप बोलेंगे कि भाई हाँ मैं बाहर जाऊंगा, थिएटर में जाके वहां पे गेट पे ठहर के फिर चिल्लाऊंगा, फिर पता चलेगा कि अलाउड है या नहीं है, फिर वापस आऊंगा, तो आपका यहाँ से वहां तक का जाने का एनर्जी और वापस आने का एनर्जी, आपका यहाँ से वहां तक जाने का कंजम्पशन और आने का कंजम्पशन टोटली वेस्ट होता है, राइट? तो NSX बोलेगा कि मैं वेस्ट नहीं होने देता हूँ, मैं यहीं पे आपको बताता हूँ बाहर जाने का क्या नहीं जाने का। डज दैट मेक सेंस? समझ रहे हैं ना? ठीक
Yes.
है। दैट इज कॉल्ड एज DFW फायरवॉलिंग। ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद में आता है फुल स्टैक नेटवर्किंग फॉर मॉडर्न ऐप। तो ये कुबरनेटीज जो है ना, कुबरनेटीज कंटेनर, तो वो बोलता है मैं तुझे भी नेटवर्किंग दे दूंगा। ठीक है। नेम स्पेस आइसोलेशन, ये मैं आपको नहीं क्या बाद में बताता हूँ इसका। ठीक है। और एनीवे बाद में बताने की जरूरत नहीं, ये कुबरनेटीज वगैरह इट्स टोटली डिफरेंट। कुबरनेटीज के जितने भी फंक्शंस है उसको सबको नेटवर्किंग देते हैं, और कुबरनेटीज इज डिफरेंट इन हिज ओन क्लास। हमको VM पता है लेकिन कुबरनेटी तो मुझे भी नहीं पता है। एनीवन नोज? विकास?
नहीं।
नहीं, राइट? क्योंकि देखो ये अलग अलग सेक्शंस पे आ रहे हैं टोटल सब, ये कुबरनेटीज अलग आ रहा है।
कुबरनेट्स में बहुत सारे एप्लीकेशंस और मल्टीपल प्रोग्रामिंग यूज होते हैं उसमें, और वो कंटेनराइजेशन मतलब वो एक पूरा अलग ही है वो।
राइट। तो अलग
मतलब
क्या है, मैं उसका एक शॉर्ट में आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि भाई आपको इस चीज की जरूरत ही क्या थी, किस चीज की? इसकी इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं थी ना आपको, उसने निकाल ही दिया। आप सिर्फ डीएनएस पे फोकस करो। आपको एंड ऑफ द डे, आपको होटल में जाते हैं तो आपका डिश मैटर है ना आपके लिए, क्या बोलते हैं?
बिल्कुल।
यू डोंट नो कि भाई ये कैसा पकाया, कहाँ से लेके आया, क्या डाला उसमें, कैसे डाला। आप ऑर्डर दो, आपको डिश से मतलब है। सेम वे में डीएनएस से आपको मतलब है कि डीएनएस सर्विस दे रहा है कि नहीं, किधर चल रहा है, कहाँ चल रहा है, क्या स्पीड पे चल रहा है। सिर्फ आपको परफॉर्मेंस चाहिए। तो वो बोलेगा ठीक है, आप एक काम करो, इसको हटा दो, मैं रन करता हूँ कुबरनेटिस पे। कुबरनेटिस क्या है? शेयरिंग शेयरिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है पूरा। मीन्स आप आपका लैपटॉप देख लो, आप ये करेंगे ना, आप 10 एप्लीकेशन के सिवा आपके लैपटॉप में कुछ भी नहीं चलाते हो। फालतू में पूरा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम चल रहा है। यू आर यूजिंग ब्राउजर्स, क्रोम ब्राउजर, एमएस ऑफिस, एमएस पेंट, कैलकुलेटर, ठीक है, और ऑफिस 365 के एप्लीकेशन। ये हो गए 5। अब छठा बोलो मुझे, क्या एक्सेस करते हो आप? समझ रहे हो? एमएस ऑफिस, ऑफिस 365 2, क्रोम 3, एमएस पेंट 4, कैलकुलेटर 5। वो भी कैलकुलेटर में ऐसे ही ऐड किया। अब मुझे बताओ, कुछ एक्सेस करते हो आप दूसरा? नो राइट। और करते भी रहोगे तो 5 का 10 कर दो, ठीक है। बट यू आर रनिंग होल ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बिकॉज ऑफ दैट, यू आर मैनेजिंग एंड यू आर पेइंग फॉर इट। So why can't you directly run those 5 applications directly on your desk and then don't care about what is there in background? वो हम देख लेंगे। आज ऑफिस 365 ने क्या किया आज, ठीक है। पहले टीम्स जो आता था ना, टीम्स के पहले लिंक था। कौन था? लिंक। और लिंक आपके डेटा सेंटर में आपको हैंडल करना पड़ता था, ठीक है ना। तो आज नो बडी इज डूइंग दैट, एवरीवन इज परचेसिंग ऑफिस 365 फॉर देयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। पहले आउटलुक आता था, पहले विंडोज का एक्सचेंज सर्वर था। क्या था? दैट एक्सचेंज सर्वर, व्हाट दे डू, दे यू हैव टू गो अहेड एंड कॉन्फ़िगर इन योर सर्वर डेटा सेंटर। अगर वो एक्सचेंज सर्वर को कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया तो आपके पूरे मेल बॉक्स का इशू हो जाता था। बट नाउ इट इज, वी आर बाइंग इट फ्रॉम वेयर? ऑफिस 365। सो सेम वे डीएनएस आपको चाहिए, कंटेनर के ऊपर मिलेगा। सो कंटेनर को नेटवर्किंग एनएसएक्सटी देगा, ठीक है। क्लाउड को भी देगा, आपको फायरवॉलिंग भी देगा, आपको कंटेनर को भी देगा। नेक्स्ट इज आपको आपके वीडीएस के साथ काम करेगा, ठीक है। टेराफॉर्म और एंसिबल मॉड्यूल के साथ काम करेगा। व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय टेराफॉर्म? सपोज मेरे को एक राउटर बनाना है। जनरली डेटा सेंटर में कौन कौन काम करता है, हाथ उठाओ। हु इज वर्किंग ऑन डेटा सेंटर? इमरान पठान, राजू, मुबीन? क्या
No,
कोई
sir.
भी नहीं कर रहे? नो?
नहीं
मुबीन,
सर।
No one. No one.
फजल, विकास?
No.
कोई
बहुत
भी नहीं?
रेयर, बहुत रेयर।
रेयर? अरे मैं समझा तुम डेटा सेंटर में ही करते हो।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, मेरा डेटा सेंटर कोऑर्डिनेशन रहता है लोकल।
ठीक है। इमरान पठान, आर यू वर्किंग ऑन डेटा सेंटर?
Yeah, we are managing data set
सो कितने
routers
कस्टमर कितने होते हैं उसमें डेटा सेंटर में?
around अभी तो फिलहाल हमारे इसमें कैसा रिमोट साइट के एडीसी है मल्टीपल, तो
टेल
ऐसे
मी ओनली
4
काउंट, टेल मी ओनली काउंट। 10, 20, 40?
10 बोल सकते हैं हमारे इसमें टोटल।
कस्टमर्स डेटा सेंटर के अंदर वो
बहुत होते हैं।
स्केलेबिलिटी बहुत सारे होते हैं, वो
तो
मतलब
गाइज
स्केलेबल
मैं
होता है।
मैं जब मुझे पता था, मैन आई वाज देयर इन विप्रो। सो विप्रो के पास ओवरऑल इंडिया में 1000 कस्टमर प्लस थे। कितने थे? कोई छोटा 2 सर्वर का कस्टमर है, तो कोई 20 सर्वर का कस्टमर है, तो कोई 200 सर्वर का कस्टमर है, राइट? ठीक है ना। तो अब मुझे एक बात बताओ, सबके लिए टेरा, ये अभी वो चीज आपको 10 टाइम करना है, आपको 100 टाइम करना है, 1000 टाइम करना है। सो इट्स टेराफॉर्म। टेराफॉर्म से आप क्या कर सकते हो? यू कैन गो एड एंड बिल्ड अ राउटर 1 मिनट में। आप
What?
जाओ, एक कोड डाल दो और राउटर बन जाएगा, ठीक है। देयर आर लॉट मेनी थिंग। तो टेराफॉर्म का कोड ऐसे होता है। सो आप टेराफॉर्म किसी के भी साथ कर सकते हो, ठीक है। नहीं, यहाँ पे नहीं डाला था मैं, यहाँ पे डाला था। ये देखो, यहाँ पे भी नहीं डाला था। ठीक है, तो ये देखो, अगर मुझे एक सेगमेंट बनाना है तो मैं क्या करूंगा, ये कोड डाल दूंगा तो मेरा एक सेगमेंट बन जाएगा गेटवे। अगर मुझे 1000 सेगमेंट बनाना है तो मैं 1000 ऐसे सिर्फ कॉपी करके डालूंगा, रन कर दूंगा। और मुझे डिस्ट्रॉय करना है तो विद इन मिनट आई कैन गो अहेड एंड डिस्ट्रॉय। ठीक है, अगर आप टेराफॉर्म का वेबसाइट पे जाओगे, ये देखो टेराफॉर्म एक गो लैंग्वेज में आता है, और ये क्या करता है, हर आपके वेंडर से बात कर सकता है। ही इज हैविंग दैट मच ऑफ कैपेबिलिटी। ठीक है, आपके एसीआई को बात करेगा, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एज अ कोड। अरे कहाँ गया ये टेराफॉर्म? वेंडर बोल के आता है, वो आ ही नहीं रहा था, अभी आ गया। ठीक है ना, तो यहाँ पे देखो प्रोवाइडर्स, देखो टेराफॉर्म आप एडब्ल्यूएस के साथ काम कर सकते हो। एडब्ल्यूएस में जितनी भी चीजें आप फिजिकली कर रहे हो, यू कैन गो अहेड एंड डू इट थ्रू टेराफॉर्म एडब्ल्यूएस। अज्यूर, क्लाउड, अलीबाबा, कुबरनेटीज, ये जितने भी आपको दिख रहे हैं ना यहाँ पे लिस्ट डाउन हुए हैं, सबके साथ आप काम कर सकते हो। इंक्लूडिंग आपको आपका सिर्फ नेटवर्किंग यहाँ पे सेलेक्ट कर दो। आप बोलो चेक पॉइंट के साथ मुझे एक रूल बनाना है, आप बना सकते हो। आप एवीआई है, एसीआई के साथ कर सकते हो, इंक्लूडिंग एनएसएक्स एज वेल। ठीक है, एनएसएक्स आपको पता नहीं इसलिए मैं वहां नहीं लेके जा रहा हूँ एनएसएक्स टी पे। सो आपको क्या बनाना क्या है आपका, वो मैटर करता है। आप डॉक्यूमेंट में जाओ, आप बोलो अभी, ये देखो आपको क्या बनाना है आपको। ठीक है, आपको चेक पॉइंट में कुछ बनाना है, यहाँ पे आप सेलेक्ट कर दो। टैगिंग आपको करना है, ये कोड उठा के डाल दो, वो टैग कर लेगा। ठीक है, आपको वीपीएन बनाना है, या वीपीएन का था यहाँ पे, तो कुछ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है ये आप डाल दो, वहाँ पे वीपीएन वो रिसोर्स बन जाएगा। कुछ ऑब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं जो आप मैनुअल करते थे, आप कोडिंग के थ्रू कर लो। ठीक है, आपको एसीआई करना है, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में जाओ, एसीआई का कौन सा पार्ट आपको ऑटोमेट करना है। आप बोलो कि भाई मुझे नेटवर्किंग के अंदर आई वांट ब्रिज डोमेन, आप ये कोड उठा के मार दो, ब्रिज डोमेन आपका बन जाएगा। ठीक है, तो देर आर लॉट मेनी थिंग्स। ओके, आपको वीआरएफ बनाना है, आप ऐसा कर दो, वीआरएफ बना दो, आपका वीआरएफ बन जाएगा। ठीक है, आपको मल्टीपल टाइम बनाना है तो आप पाइथन के साथ उसको इंटीग्रेट कर दो, ये नंबर चेंज करते जाएगा, आपके एक्सेल शीट के हिसाब से नाम लेगा। और बहुत सी चीजें हैं, लॉट मेनी थिंग्स आर देयर। यू कैन automate your whole data center using Terraform. Okay, so coming back to the slide, that is Terraform. Same way में Ansible भी है, Ansible भी वैसे ही है, लेकिन Ansible मुझे नहीं आता, I know Terraform. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट इज अलार्म दी एसएनएमपी ट्रैप्स वगैरह। ठीक है, वो तो छोड़ दो, मॉनिटरिंग है, IPv6 सपोर्ट करता है। ठीक है, दीज आर द थिंग्स। ओके, सो ये एनएसएक्सटी है, फुल स्टैक सब आपको सपोर्ट कर रहा है। सो माइक्रो सेगमेंटेशन, गाइज आई थिंक आज के लिए काफी है, या ज्यादा हो जाएगा?
हाँ
नहीं,
हाँ,
ज्यादा हो जाएगा।
ठीक हो गया।
ठीक है, तो ये देखो अभी हमारा NSXT शुरू हो गया। नेक्स्ट टाइम जब हम सैटरडे को आएंगे मैं इंस्टॉलेशन बताऊंगा, लेकिन मैं अभी इंस्टॉलेशन इसलिए नहीं शुरू किया, आपने करना vCenter डिप्लॉय किया ना ESXi कॉन्फ़िगर किया। तो पहले मैं थ्योरी लूंगा, आपका दिखा, तो देन आई विल आल्सो टेक प्रैक्टिकल। और आपको ये जितने भी रिसोर्स चाहिए, मैं आपको ये जितने भी ये है मैं आपको दे देता हूँ अभी। ठीक है, सो आज के लिए तो इतना काफी है। सो व्हाट गाइज आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग, अगले सैटरडे संडे में आपको क्या करना है, आपको लैब एक्सेस करना है बेस्ड ऑन योर कन्वीनियंस। और आपको जितना भी मैंने प्रैक्टिकल्स किए, ये दो ये शिक्षा है तो आपके बन गए हैं। आप देखेंगे ना आपके लैब के अंदर, देखो आपके लैब कहाँ से 23 से शुरू होते हैं, राइट? आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो देखो 23 को 2 बना दिया, 24 को बना दिया, 5 को बना दिया। ठीक है, आपको इसको बूट करना है, आपको ये यहाँ पे जाके वी सेंटर जाके इंस्टॉल करना है। ठीक है, वी सेंटर आप 6 और 7 पे इंस्टॉल करो, 106 107, पासवर्ड तो आपको पता ही है। ठीक है, वी सेंटर आपका जैसे ही हुआ तो ऐसे वी सेंटर आप कॉन्फ़िगर करो, एक दो वीएम कॉन्फ़िगर करो। अब रही बात मेरे एग्जिस्टिंग इसकी, तो मैं इसको शट डाउन करता हूँ यहाँ पे, और मैं ये टेम्पलेट रखता हूँ, आप टेम्पलेट यूज कर सकते हो, ये जो टेम्पलेट आपके लैब में भी कर सकते हो, वो वहाँ पे रखी हुई है। ठीक है, आपके इस पे रजिस्टर कर दो एंड डू इट। अब ये जो विंडोज का मशीन है, मैं इसको शट डाउन भी करता हूँ और डिलीट भी करता हूँ, क्योंकि इट्स नो मोर रिक्वायर्ड, राइट। इसकी मुझे अभी जरूरत नहीं है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, राइट क्लिक, रिमूव इट फ्रॉम इन्वेंट्री एक चीज है और डिलीट फ्रॉम डिस्क एक है। इन्वेंट्री से क्या होगा कि देखो, वी सेंटर आपको इन्वेंट्री ही तो प्रोवाइड कर रहा है कि भाई ये आपके डेटा हार्ड डिस्क में से ये आपके पास इतने वीएम्स है, ठीक है। और आप यहाँ से रिमूव इन्वेंट्री से डिलीट करेंगे तो वो हार्ड डिस्क में जैसे कि वैसे ही रहेगा। तो आपको डिलीट फ्रॉम डिस्क करना है। इससे क्या होगा कि यहाँ से तो रिमूव करेगा ही करेगा, वो डिस्क में भी जाके डिलीट कर देगा, ठीक है। सो जो भी अनवांटेड रिसोर्स रहते हैं आप उसको बंद कर दो। ये छोटे छोटे जो है ये विंडोज की इसके, इसको डिलीट करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बहुत छोटा मेमोरी लेता है, ठीक है। एनी क्वेश्चन गाइस? If you don't have any question, I'm going to stop the lab, the vertical recording. You can ask any question later on. Okay, I'm here only. Stopping the recording now.